Hey people, welcome back. We have a very interesting situation here today. Okay, I've recently just done a little RGB setup. It is sort of like not the fresh LG A1700 chip, motherboard. It's the X2299 with an Intel i9-98X20. I've got about 48 gig of RAM at the moment, and I'll explain why I've got 48 instead of 64, because this has 4 DIMMs on either side. So there's 3 on either side now, 2 are missing. Yeah, as I said, just wanted a little RGB setup. So as you can see, it's nice and cool. I'm still using my legendary Thermaltake Armor Plus case, which has all the floats, yes, all the bay for the drives, and yes, you've noticed there's a floppy drive as well. Yeah, that's an OTT who on this day and age uses a floppy drive, but it's there anyway. I don't think that the board is compatible. There is no slot for that, but I'd probably just keep it in there since it's in there. Anyway, so the interesting factor is that those DIMMs are Corsair DIMMs. Them, okay, the Vengeance RGB Pro. The problem I was having with the system is where it was actually switch on, or when you're trying to restart, it'll switch on off until it's made several attempts, and it'll power up to Windows. When I'm trying to play games, it's sort of making a little distortion at the bottom, making it look like there's a fault with the graphic card or there's a memory issue in the graphic card. And hand on heart, this graphic card is old. It's the 295X2. I've had it since brand new, and very little use on this card. I bought it just for the sake of having one, and it's just been stuck in the PC, not utilized. So I've decided to just go back onto the gaming side of it and just try and enjoy myself and make some use out of this card. And that's when I've noticed, as I said, little dots and things appearing and disappearing and things like that. And I was getting a bit worried that if there was a problem with the card, since it's not been used for a long period of time. Luckily, it turns out to be that it's one of the DIMMs. Okay, and the pair is inside that box. So the first thing I would do is I would literally, if you're suffering from any sort of issues, is to check or run a memory test, which I'm doing at the moment now, and it's been running for about an hour and 45 minutes, and it's done up to 73% pass on the 48 gig. I am waiting for the replacement from Amazon for these, yeah, I'll show you. Maybe this camera may not pick up what I'm trying to show you, but I will sort of put a picture, because I have taken a picture of these modules. Very strange. I've never ever seen anything like this in my sort of work life. This is clean. The copper traces seems to have oxidized, or there's something not sort of right. So this is okay. It's this module, and obviously they're part of a kit. So it's this side now. Now there, all these things are sort of, well, the golden connections, traces, whatever you'd like to call it. There seems to have got some sort of a crazy silvery effect on them, as if almost like somebody's been reflowing these joints with solder. So you're adding solder onto copper, if it makes sense. So yeah, as I said, just check your modules. If you've got any funny behavior from the system, even if it's a brand new system setup, first thing first is to check the modules and make sure that the modules are okay, by visual inspection and running mem test and various other memory test utilities, and confirm that the memory modules are fine. Ideally, what you want to do is, if it's not you want to take as many modules away from the system, run a test, power up the system, with very little memory module in, see if it works fine, start adding each one at a time if that's possible, and see what the behavior is, if the behavior changes. And luckily for me, that, you know, I was a bit concerned that there's quite a bit of money gone into that, you know, why is the system constantly restarting? Have I got an issue with the graphic chip, graphic card? Have I got an issue with the motherboard? Have I got an issue with the processor? And again, I've gone on the desktop and downloaded the Intel's processor testing utility, and that sort of passed with flying colours. There's no issues with the chip, with the processor. So yeah, there you have it. That's I thought I'd just share this with yourself. Always check the module, test them as well. If possible, as I repeat, is take all the modules out, add one at a time, and see if there is a behavior change on the system. And the moment you know that you've added a module and the behavior has altered, you know, it's not sort of booting up properly, restarting, shutting down, and so on and so forth, you know that you've got a problem on that module. So I hope this video was helpful. Anyway guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.